This is David Tulis. I'm glad you're giving me just a couple minutes of your time. We here at the David Tulis program at Nooga Radio argue for lococentrism. You might say Noogacentrism. I'm the guru of Noogacentrism. Dr. Noogacentric, you could say, competing for that position with Dave Crockett, the former city council member, and you might say a diplomat without portfolio here in Chattanooga. We argue for near over far, small over big, and simple over complex, and even in the footnotes where the enemy has a sword out of the scabbard, even there we argue against him. He says corporate is better than personal and abstract is better than physical, and we say nay, it is just the reverse of that. Brought to you by Nooganomics.com. David Tulis, the blogger with the biggest pen, and Nooganomics.com. I have on the phone Kevin Stafford, who is the vice president of marketing and advertising at Food City. Food City yesterday began here in Chattanooga from among its 14 stores a home delivery service. Kevin, tell my listener what this service is and how it came about.
Yeah, so we've been working for the past few months with a joint partnership with the folks at Instacart to bring home delivery. We call it Food City Delivers to about 160,000 residents of the Chattanooga area. I launched it yesterday. I guess a couple of weeks ago, we launched in our Knoxville market, and it's been very successful for us, and just a great opportunity to bring it to the great folks of Chattanooga.
Well, how does it work?
Yeah, so you go online to foodcitydelivers.com, and then through the app, you can order anything that really you can get in the store, whether it be our certified Angus beef in the meat department, or any of our produce items, or grocery center store items, your milk, your bread, all the everyday needs that you want. You pick your delivery time. We can deliver actually in as little as an hour. There is a fee that applies. $9.99 is the fee if you want it less than an hour, or if it's less than $35. If it's $35 or more, the fee goes to $5.99. And like I said, you can get your groceries in as little as an hour. You check out online, you pay online, and one of the personal shoppers will deliver it directly to your door.
Now, you say an app, so this has to be done really on a smartphone. It cannot be done from my listener's desktop Macintosh. Is that right?
No, it can be done from your desktop. There again, it's just a website, foodcitydelivers.com. There is an app version as well on Instacart. You can load the Instacart app and use it as well. But like I said, the easiest way to do it is just online, foodcitydelivers.com. We do find, although I don't encourage it, we do find a lot of folks order while they're actually at work and pick it, have it delivered when they get home for the evenings.
So they save themselves a trip which may last 40 minutes or longer if you go in and you start picking up things and then more things, and so they can do it without having to make that stop.
Yeah, and obviously, we love for people to come to the store, and we'll always be there. But this offers convenience for folks, and we know there's times when people are sick, or their children are sick, or you have a person who may be elderly and can't get out for whatever reason. It's a great opportunity for them to be able to get the same great things they get at Food City and just get it delivered to their doorstep. It's great convenience, and people really do love the service.
This is David Tulis, and we're talking with Kevin Stafford, who is with Food City. He's in Abingdon, Virginia, where the company headquarters is. And Food City yesterday launched its food delivery program. And Kevin, let me ask about Texas. What are Food City workers and Food City shoppers doing in the way of helping people in Texas? And then number two, does your company have stores in the Hurricane Harvey affected areas?
We don't. We do not have any stores in the Texas area. We're in Kentucky, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, and North Georgia. But we do have friends in the Texas area, and just what a devastation down there in the Texas area. We have a lot of friends that we've talked to in the grocery industry. And what we did last week, along with our customers, our CEO, Steve Smith, started the donation with a $10,000 donation from our corporation. We began to raise money in the stores at the checkout ran the campaign for basically 8 days, and our customers, just great customers, and we were able to raise $418,000 in the store, and an additional $10,000 with the corporate donation. And that money is actually going to be split between 3 organizations when we talk to the folks in Houston that we feel like is going to do the best with the money, and that's the Houston Food Bank, the Salvation Army, and Samaritan's Purse. So we'll be divvying up that money to them in the coming days.
So the news today is that Food City has launched. Today's the second day. It's a home delivery program in 14 Chattanooga stores through Instacart, and that could bring service to you, my listener, and as many as 160,000 other residents. Again, Kevin Stafford, what is the website at which to which my listener needs to go if he wants to try out your program?
Yeah, they want to try it. Just go online to foodcitydelivers.com, and you'll have to create an account. And once you have your account, you can shop. Great coupon offers on there for you. And they're, again, a $5.99 fee if the order is greater than $35. So you don't have time to go to the store, jump online, order your groceries, have it delivered. I will tell you, too, a lot of football fans out there, tailgaters, especially UTC fans out there, we'll also deliver to your tailgate. So just give us the street address where you're at, and we're glad to deliver to your tailgate as well.
Okay, Kevin Stafford of Food City, thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
This is David Tulis. We're chatting with Kevin Stafford of Food City. The new program launched yesterday. Now, the grocery business is a remarkable business, and I'd like to suggest that the reason that we have shortages now in Florida as Hurricane Irma approaches is because there are restraints by the good people against the hand of communication that makes the marketplace work, that makes the free market work, and that free hand, that you might say that open mouth, the snipping of the cord of communication is through statutes which prevent the prices of certain goods from rising to meet demand that rises sharply, that rises exponentially, often in a vertical parabolic line if you charted it prior to disaster. Now the disaster ahead is Irma in Florida and along the eastern coast, just as it was before Harvey struck Texas. We have huge demand now. There's a grocery chain in Texas which has made a remarkable case for the market. And the story does mention it. I saw it a couple days ago, and it's part of my fat stack for Friday. And I don't want it to pass without my mentioning. It's called HEB. The chain is HEB, and it has 350 stores in Texas and Mexico. And so short-staffed were some of the stores in Texas that there were 5 people manning cavernous retail food and goods outlets in Texas. It's a grocery chain, and one there are memes that are circulating in Texas. One says, "State and federal resources are struggling to get into impacted areas. HEB, out of the way, we're coming." And that again is how the marketplace works. The market is a decentralized solution to disaster. The central power, the central government, the unitary nation state we have out of Washington cannot possibly organize relief. It cannot possibly rightly and efficiently organize rescue. Well, maybe rescue at some points, but generally relief and rescue conceived together are best sought, best answered by the marketplace. HEB, the story by Chip Cutter at LinkedIn really just was an eye opener. In prior to storms like that coming to Florida, frozens are, no one buys frozen, right? Everyone buys they buy tuna, batteries, toilet paper. They buy things that are going to be immediately usable and do not require electricity to run. HEB stocked accordingly, right? It's stocked according to this need to have people in the stores. It got people from other places out of the affected areas, and found that as the disaster struck and afterwards, there were huge supply chain problems where once you had a 90-minute trip from one part of Texas to another, it was an 18-hour trip for a delivery truck. It owns its own bread plant, and so as it dealt with the effect of the storm, it stopped production of every type of bread except for three: plain white, whole wheat, and hot dog. And and because that's, you have volume, you want volume, and you want simplicity. No one cares about particulars and alternate flavors, alternate styles of bread. No one's going to care about your English muffin or your bagels when our job is just to get it out there and get it to you. And so that's what happened at the plant. The behind-the-scenes operations, as you told me, is a complicated dance involving multiple command centers, a helicopter, private planes, military-style vehicles, and frequent calls to suppliers, urging them to send toilet paper and skip the Funyuns. And that again, that is because we just want Fritos. Okay, we don't want any other kind from your plant. We just want the main grub. Okay, just get it out here, get it out of your plant, get it here. He says, the CEO says, we asked for volunteers from the rest of the company. We brought in over 2,000 partners from Austin, San Antonio, the Rio Grande Valley. They hopped into cars and just drove to Houston. They said, we're here to help. It's blankety blank work for 18 hours a day, but they're going to help us restock, and then they'll go to sleep on the couch at somebody's house. Texas, as we know, is the only place where you're a Texan first and an American second. The people are in love with the state. People who work for us are going to find a way to get to work because they knew they were the first line of defense for the people to eat. Again, you're loyal to your employer. It didn't matter if you were a clerk making $12.50 an hour. So when water level was high, we sent 10 trucks of water over because the city water is tainted. It took 18 hours for a trip that would normally take 90 minutes. So we're contracting with Army troop carriers to get people through the high water. Then we said we'd use our corporate plane to get people over, but we couldn't do that today because President Trump is coming. That's when the interview was given, when Trump went down there. Calls to Procter & Gamble would sound like this. Give us just the basics. One store will take half a trailer, ship directly, right? Ship directly. One store will take half a trailer, and the other store will take the other half. You can just ask our warehouse, so you can just get it to us. And doing that, he says, I create more capacity in my distribution chain. So you send direct trucks. Here are the stores you can go to, and split the truck. Make it half paper towels and half toilet tissue. And then he tells about calling Frito-Lay. And that's, let's see, the name. Let me get the name of the executive here. McClellan is his name. Scott McClellan. He's a 27-year HEB veteran and president of the chain's Houston division. Okay, so we're talking about Scott McClellan. He said one store. I called Frito-Lay and said, rather than manufacturing your entire product line, manufacture your best sellers. I need Lay's. I need Doritos. I need Fritos. I need a variety pack. Don't need Funyuns, and I don't need Munchos. Just make your best sellers. I won't turn down any delivery. We'll take it as fast as we can. The access, having access to bread beats variety. And so he says in his plant, it makes, as I mentioned, of 50 different bread items, but they're just keeping it to 3. If we can just keep running the machines, then we can make more product and get more product out to the stores. So these are what happens. Now, I want to mention also, since I'm declaiming against national government and I'm somewhat critical of the state. Okay, let's just say, as a market defender, I'm somewhat critical of the nation state. All rules are off when you have a hurricane. Scott McClellan says, in 2005, my first hurricane was Hurricane Rita in Beaumont. FEMA closed the city. They wanted everybody to leave, and they wouldn't let anybody in. I had 70 stores without power. I needed to get my perishable product out, he says, because it starts to rot. FEMA wouldn't let me do that. Okay, here we have government trying to help you. So after 2 days, I got 3 buses and filled them with people. And I typed up a letter that said, to whom it may concern, these people are authorized by me to clean out the HEB stores and get them ready for business. I got a Cadillac Escalade, and I put a flashing blue light on top. Right, you can buy one of those for $25. The police stopped them and said, you can't come in. They handed them the letter from me on my letterhead, and the policeman read it and said, I guess you can come in. we kind of coined the phrase, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. That's the way we go about handling natural disasters. We'll do whatever it takes. And he says, I do the commercials for HEB in Houston, so people know who I am. So as I walked in the store, people would come up and hug me and thank us for making the effort to open, because the Kroger across the street wasn't open. The Walmart down the street wasn't open. One woman walked up and started crying, and she hugged me to thank us for being open. And that is what the marketplace is all about. It's about helping people. It's about serving other people. Whether you're Food City with your home delivery program with a $5.55 cap, a price for a delivery if it's $30 and over, or $35 and over. The marketplace works. The marketplace does work. There's a story I wanted to mention from Chloe Morrison at Nooga.com about a public relations firm called an interactive agency. Okay, this is a term that we have these new words of art such as that, creative agency, but it's called Whiteboard. And it's all about serving its customers, but it wants to do it in I would say, a loco-centric way. We are, of course, here at the David Tulis Show, the guru of local economy, the guru of Nooga-centrism, right? It's not trademarked. You may use that term if you like. You may use it as you like. And here, the goal is to not just deliver, public relations propaganda for our clients, but the goal, and to make our clients look good and to increase business for our clients, right? That's what Whiteboard does. It became a B corporation, apparently the first one in Chattanooga, according to Nooga.com's account by Chloe Morrison. Chief Operating Officer Eric Brown said in a prepared statement, we not only desire to be recognized for our creativity and skill set, but also for our commitment to our team, our partners, our community, and our city. There's a group called B Lab. It's a nonprofit organization, and it's somewhat like fair trade certification for coffee, according to B Lab, or to USDA organic certification for milk. It's a private label that you get put on your business, and it shows that you care about the holistic presence of your business. In other words, your employees, your practices, your environmental stewardship, and the like. So there are 5 areas that are evaluated by B Lab, and Whiteboard apparently redesigned itself to meet these standards. Environment, here are the areas, the pillars of the B rating: environment, workers, customers, community, and governance. To some degree, we are actively practicing a lot of the goals put forth by the assessment. However, a lot of the questions also required us to have written processes for how we approached a lot of our do-good initiatives. This is why, this is where a lot of the work over a 6-month period took place. So, these are interesting ideas and interesting questions. Now, what I want to get to next, as my coffee cools here on my left-hand side after our Panera Posse encounter this morning. By the way, I do my work on Fridays, every Friday at Panera Bread Store in Hickson. If you would like to join me for coffee, I extend to you, my listener, an invitation to an intimate tete-a-tete with the Panera Posse gang. We round up the bad guys and put the money back in the bank. It's 6:30 Friday morning, and I'd bail out of that from that table at about 7:15 or 7:30 to prepare for my encounter with you. The most important part of my life is my daily encounter with you, my listener. We're going to get to some questions next with an expert. The question is how to deal with the coming economic maelstrom, right? We have a hurricane out in the equities and out in the credit sector, which means a disaster. The disaster is the non-functioning system that we have by design. It's created to be non-functioning. And indeed, it will come to a stop because everybody is feeding off of it and no one is contributing to it. And there is no free market. The lack of a free market in the national economy bodes ill for it. So what are we going to do here in Chattanooga? What can we do to prepare ourselves by creating more cash flow, creating diversity of our income streams? That is a question that I want to get to. It's an important question, a major issue. There's a story just to finish off my roundup that was on the front page of the Metro, the region section in the paper, the Times Free Press on Wednesday. Just wanted to mention it about about good faith errors. There is a review now in the high court by Republicans who have added 2 justices in Nashville on the good faith error exception of cops and others when they make a blunder and make it possible that even though they have a defective warrant, they get their guy. Our concern is that while they may catch an occasional criminal by fudging, the good faith exception has not been accepted in Tennessee, though many other states have accepted the federal definition of good faith error. I think it's a mistake for us to go that direction. But the Republicans, they want to make that mistake. They want to be pro cop against the people, against the citizen. David Tulis.
In-depth traffic, news, and information. Mornings on Nooga Radio.